I work with people all over the world. I work as a mentor and a personal coach and also as a business consultant. And I can go into a business or sit down with a person and in 10 minutes I know what's holding them back. How do I spot what's holding them back? I use this matrix right here. It's a priority wheel that shows where you put the emphasis. And this shows the 8 areas of competence. Competence is ability or skill, a group of skills or abilities in a particular niche. If you're competent at this one or that one or that one, that's a competency, okay? There are 8 competencies required for the mastery of your field, your craft. For example, in professional speaking, I came up with this for the National Speakers Association to use when certifying speaking professionals. And we would look at the competency of knowing your industry, knowing all the ways to connect with your colleagues, knowing how to deepen your expertise so that your topic depth was strong, knowing how to transfer that to other people through published works and training and other forms like that. Platform performance as a speaker, platform mechanics, meaning managing lighting, movement, staging, and things like that, handling sound systems and technology, sales and marketing of that type of a business, and management of that type of a business. Any one of these could be vitally important to you at a particular moment and less important at some times, but none of them are ever unimportant. None of them can be neglected for long without you having a big predictable problem. For example, if you don't understand your industries, or if you understood it 20 years ago and haven't kept up with the changes in it, most of your knowledge about it will be obsolete, and that'll start showing up in your work real soon. If you don't understand all the various ways that you can connect with your colleagues, and if you're not actually reaching out and connecting with them, like for me it was joining the National Speakers Association, or in other fields it'd be joining your professional society. If you're not doing that, then you're losing touch and you're missing out on all the strength they could bring. Expertise, you've got to know your stuff. You got to know enough about and be good enough at what you do as a specialty that it's worth paying for. And so that's a constant growth thing. Research, learning, becoming the leading authority in your niche. Transfer. There's got to be a way for you to get that to other people other than standing in front of them as a consultant or a speaker or a trainer or person on the screen of their media. So you need to constantly be converting what you know into tools, reports, books, other kinds of items that'll help you transfer what you've got through a course online or whatever, so that other people can get it from you when you're not awake. Swiss money, sales while I sleep soundly, right? Performance. When you get up in front of a group in a boardroom or at a meeting, giving a speech or just talking to a group of people, helping solve a problem or lead them, that performance is 100% on you. If you don't do that well, everything else is going to be weakened because that part didn't go consistently with the rest of it. I've seen beautiful minds who have done wonderful research, published best-selling books, and created a huge demand for their services. And then they get up in front of the person I'm thinking about, gets up in front of a group, does a presentation, and everybody says, is that really the same person? Because the performance was weak in person, it casts shadows of doubt on everything else. So you got to be able to communicate well, whether it's on the stage or one-to-one or online. You got to be able to communicate well about what you do when connecting with other people. And then you got to know the mechanics. For example, if you're doing Zoom calls, if you're doing online presentations, webinars, and you don't feel comfortable with the medium, and you're not able to occasionally glance at the chat and see if there's something you ought to be addressing, or you're not conscious of how you look on camera, or there's some aspect of it that you don't understand how to deal with, well, somebody better be there who does, because that's your weakness. And if you learn a little bit more, you can be more independent. It's fine to outsource things to other people, but not to be dependent on other people. Sales and marketing. People say, no, I'm not good at sales. I'm just really good at everything else. I'll find people to sell me. Hey, if you can't sell you, they can't sell you. Trust me. I've seen people that were brilliant on stage or in a boardroom, but could not confirm a sale with a new client, didn't know what questions to ask or what things to emphasize or how to ask for the order. And because of that, their entire career suffered. So master it, become excellent at it. And then management. Managing your business, if it's a one-person business like mine, an expert business, where you are the main product, managing that's not the same as managing a shipping company or managing a department store. So learn the unique specifics of managing your particular field, and whichever one of these you neglect will obscure all the rest of them if it's neglected too long. For example, let's say this is not these categories, but instead it's mind, body, spirit, friends, family, career, finances, and emotions. Whichever one of those you have neglected too long will suddenly step forward and obscure all the rest. For example, if you don't take care of your health will ultimately say, okay, guys, sit down, we're going to the hospital because we're having illness and injury now, right? If you've neglected your finances, they'll step forward and say, all right, it's time for bankruptcy court. If it's relationships you've neglected, hey, we're going to go to the courtroom and have a problem, or divorce court, or whatever it happens to be. So pay attention to each area of your life. You say, yeah, you need balance. No, balance indicates there's an equal amount here and there. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. No, that's not how you do this. You pay attention on a regular basis, again and again and again, to all of them. You have checklists and charts, you have reports, you have ways of monitoring your world and your life that keep you aware of the needs as they arise so that you can find the right time to address them and they never become a dominant need that obscures everything else. So when I go into a company, all I do is just start asking questions about these various areas. I just probe. I poke. That hurt? No. That hurt? No. That hurt? Oh, that hurt, didn't it? Yeah. Let me tell you why. So you want to be a good consultant? Learn to diagnose using something like this. You want to be a good fitness coach? Then learn to go beyond just looking at the body and the motions, and look at the nutrition, and look at how their lifestyle is, and look at all the other factors that go into it. So the best way in the world to do a quick read on where your needs are greatest is to regularly be aware of all the needs in all the different areas, and then put the attention, the weight on the foot that it needs to be on, right? Because the one you neglect will be the one screaming for your attention very, very soon.